Hey guys, it's Kevin. I wanted to do some instrument work today. Here on the screen I have a cleaned up version of the raw spring samples that I took. I cleaned them up in Audacity, I did some noise reduction, and I kind of selected some of the better hits. I have no idea how I'm going to put this together yet, but I've got some audio and that's a start. So these samples have a lot of attack, right? Not a lot of body, not a lot of sustain. I'm wondering if I'm gonna have to supplement this with some synth sounds, which I'm always down to add a synth line, so I picked a few interesting sounds from that recording. The first one almost sounds like it's got a bit of a water drip or splash kind of sound. And I'm wondering if I recorded that while my dog was drinking water, because it just sounds a lot like water being moved. This one I think has a nice high-end buzz to it. This third one has a lot more pitch to it, so I'm going to use that as the body of the sound. This one has more of a thump, so that might be the initial attack. This one is interesting because it has a bit of thump and pitch to it. So I'm wondering if I can incorporate that somewhere. Maybe I can layer that with the body. And the last one is more of a snap. I was thinking like slap bass. I don't know how that can fit in, but it sounds cool. So I'm going to work on this and then we'll reconvene. So I got my more pitchy samples as close to C as I could. I think what I'm going to do is take these fragments of samples and align them on tracks so that I can have the attack of one sample kind of fade into the body of another, and then we'll build one kind of meta sample and we'll use that in a sampler or a simpler as the foundation for our instrument. So I'm going to arrange these a little bit and we'll see what happens. So I picked out the samples I think sound best. I have them arranged in a kind of a rough fashion right now. I'll give that a quick listen just to see where we're at. It sounds more like a drum than anything else, I think, but you can see I have kind of snappy portion at the front, giving it some transient. I got that buzz there in the middle. I might fade that a little bit more. The pitchy one and the thumpy pitchy one, I got them going at the same time and I already tuned them, so they should be as close to C as I can get them. And then the drippy sound, I just think sounds cool. Even if it's not from the spring itself, it was in the session and it's going into the sound. I just think it sounds cool. So I'm gonna fade these out a little bit more, try to get a more cohesive flow going. I'm just matching some levels or trying to get some levels sorted out. So it sounds like it kind of sounds like this weird water drum. But that's cool. I think what we can do now is throw some effects on there to try to smooth over the sound. I think we're going to start with some reverb. So I want them all to have the same kind of reverb sound. So I'm just going to group these three tracks together. And then I can drop the effect on here. So this is at 100%. I like the initial hit of that one. It maybe is going on way too long, but there's something there. I'll mute that for now. I'll try one more. I kind of like that one. I'm gonna go with the can. So we'll just affect the we'll change the dry so I'm just gonna adjust the dry wet. Let's try like 45. Okay, so that's giving it a little bit more body. It's still very short, very like staccato. I wonder if I can do anything about that. So I just tossed a resonator on there. and it was already set to C. Okay, I think that helps. I'm just going to adjust the dry wet. Okay, very subtle. I'm wondering if I should change this order. I'm gonna make a new track and render this abomination into that. Okay, I think we can work with that. We're going to look for a simpler. Trim, trim, trim. Okay, so that's like the raw kind of sample sound. Should have made this video making drums from springs because it's very drummy, very percussive. Man, filters just make everything better. I kind of want to throw some distortion on here. I'm wondering if I should layer it with something else. But then that would kind of defeat the point of the video. Okay, that's getting more usable. Debating on that looping portion. Yeah, because in the lower frequencies, it's not gonna. You're probably not gonna sustain it as much. In the higher notes, you notice how short it is a lot more. Dare I throw another filter on here? Just a little bit more life, a little bit more movement. Debating on putting another reverb on. Ludicrous, I know. I think it just smooths it out a little bit. And I think finally we'll hit it with a little bit of compression just to kind of stick it together. bust out the Hail Mary. Alright, that's loud. So I think that was an interesting challenge. It doesn't sound great, I don't think, on its own. Maybe if you layered it with another synth, it would sound cooler. It definitely has some cool texture to it, so I don't think it's totally unusable. But this is just a fun exercise for me to try out and see if I can do some cool sampling stuff. Maybe if I had used sampler itself, I could have had some better results, because then you can layer it. I know there's like a little FM synth you can layer in, but I wanted to keep it simple, hence the name. And yeah, let me know what you think. Would you use a bass like this? Would you use it maybe just for sound effects, for drums? Thanks so much for watching if you stuck around for the ride. I hope you learned something. I hope you gained some insight, maybe learned a couple new techniques. I want to give a big shout out to my Patreon members. You guys help me keep the dream alive, so thank you so much. I give out free goodies on my Patreon all the time. I'll probably throw this up there next week if anyone is brave enough to try to salvage whatever is going on in this crazy little chain I got going. Thanks so much, and I hope you make something fun and creative for yourselves this week. Have a good one.